Here in the hills of West Java, unfinished business in East Timor's struggle for independence. Children from the world's newest nation are being held here, thousands of kilometres from their homeland, in a kind of unofficial orphanage for refugees. Only they're not orphans. They're not even refugees. Jakaria was 11 when he was taken from East Timor. He's had no contact with his parents for 3 years. The last time Johnny saw his mother and father, he was only 5. They're just 2 of thousands of children wrenched from their families during the chaos that was East Timor in 1999. Almost every family in East Timor was torn apart in the violence that accompanied the march to independence. After the vote, the Indonesian military and their militia proxies set about destroying East Timor. Hundreds of thousands of people fled or were forced over the border into West Timor. Many parents surrendered their children to people who promised to take care of them in Indonesia. They were told that when the dust had settled, their children would be returned.
Waktu dulu tim-tim lagi ribut tahun 99 itu. Pada ribut lagi, kita ini lagi Septanas. Terus Septanas gitu ada itu guru saya, guru SD. Dibilang, "Jak, kalau kamu ingin selamat, mending kamu ke Jawa aja, sekolah di sana. Nanti kalau udah tim-tim ini aman, baru kamu ke sini. Sekolah dulu aja di Jawa sana." Jadi saya ikut ke teman orang Jawanya yang namanya Budianto. Dia bawa saya ikut sama orang-orang tim-tim yang di sini. Jadi udah antarin saya sampai kapal, udah ke sini.
The school teacher brought him to this man, Hassan Basri, who is now Jakaria's protector, or kidnapper, depending on your perspective. He's an East Timorese Muslim who's been based in Java for about 10 years. Basri was a key figure in the forced evacuations from East Timor, and he's now holding his charges captive.
Saya tidak bakalan saya kasih, mau pemerintah Indonesia berkuar-kuar di sini juga saya nggak bakalan kasih. Kalau orang tuanya bawa ke sini, mau datang polisi di sini juga saya tidak kasih.
For 2 years, Basri shuffled Jakaria and the other children around West Java. They were constantly on the move. With the help of local villagers, Basri is now building them a more permanent home. He runs the Lemorai Foundation, which purports to care for Muslim refugees from East Timor, a charity that raises money from sympathetic Indonesians. Kirsty Sword Gusmao is East Timor's First Lady, the Australian wife of President Janana Gusmao. Why would you call Hassan Basri of the Lemorai Foundation a kidnapper?
Because essentially he, from all accounts, is an unscrupulous character who is profiting from the misfortune of a group of people.
Mrs. Gusmao is a vocal advocate for East Timorese children stranded in Indonesia.
To add insult to injury, the parents that have now returned to East Timor have been denied their right to be reunited with their children.
Hassan Basri argues that the children are much better off in his care and that their parents would be proud of their educational achievements.
Tapi sangat bangga kalau orang Indonesia misalnya sekolah di Amerika, orang tuanya bangga. Nah, ini juga sama, orang tuanya bangga kalau putranya sekolah di Jawa. Sekolah terus saja. Nah, mudah-mudahan kalian sukses.
8-year-old Johnny now attends a local primary school with Saddam Hussein, Hassan Basri's son. Every Monday morning at assembly, they raise the Indonesian flag and sing the national anthem. They've never seen their own country's flag. Johnny can't even remember his family name. 2 months ago, a Dutch television journalist discovered these children. When she interviewed Johnny, he was obviously suffering.
Mau ketemu sama mama.
Kenapa Johnny tidak bisa ketemu mama?
Waktu itu katanya masih ada perang, jadi nggak bisa ke sana. Jadinya katanya nanti aja ketemu mama.
It turns out that Johnny and Jakaria have no idea of the reality of independent East Timor. Hassan Basri is keeping them very much in the dark.
Ingin pulang ke tim-tim atau gimana?
Ya ingin kalau nanti tim-tim sudah aman. Kalau udah aman betul kita udah tahu situasinya baru boleh pulang gitu.
Tapi sudah aman kalau saya lihat di sana.
Ya. Tapi saya pengen itu foto keluarga. Kalau bisa minta foto keluarga saya.
Maksudnya foto keluarga kenapa?
Ya supaya tahu oh keluarganya masih ada gitu. Biar kita pulang sana kan ada keluarganya. Takut ke sana nggak ada keluarga gitu.
Anda kemarin tadi bilang apa? Keluarga di mana?
Keluarga di Pinilale, keluarga di Atambua.
Binilale apa Atambua?
Atambua udah kata orang tuanya Saddam katanya udah di sini di Atambua. Rantau, kata orang yang dari tim mati.
But Hassan Basri knows very well that Johnny's family is still alive. And what's more, they want him and his 16-year-old sister Noor back. A few months ago, their father came to West Java to look for his children, but Basri says he was too busy to meet him. Johnny's father returned to Timor without even seeing his son and daughter.
Bukan kita artinya tidak bisa ketemukan mereka, dipertemukan, bukan. Memang pada saat itu, memang pada posisi krisis yang serba salah, saya tidak punya duit, pengungsi juga. Yang 248 jiwa juga mendarat. Jadi saya tidak bisa mengimbangi kondisi gitu. Bukan malas, maksud saya
Itu yang Bapak bilang.
maksud saya begini, jadi jaraknya juga memang jauh.
Apalagi di ke Bandung.
Ya, dalam konotasi seperti itu kan kita tidak bisa memaksakan kondisi, sementara yang datang juga ratusan manusia itu kan pengungsi banyak gitu.
Nggak tahu tuh kenapa. Mungkin lagi capek kali, nggak tahu rasanya gimana.
Siapa yang lagi capek?
Ya pasannya kali mungkin nggak mau temenin kita sama orang tua kali, nggak tahu gimana tuh.
Jadi menurut saya Pak Hasan punya tanggung jawab untuk kenalkan dengan orang tua, bukan begitu?
Iya sih, harusnya gitu. Tapi nggak tahu tuh kenapa dia nggak mau ngirim, nggak mau kasih kabar ke aku gitu loh bahwa bapak saya itu datang, atau bukannya nganterin bapak saya itu ke pesantren saya, mau lihat saya gitu. Tapi dia nggak pernah ngasih tahu, waktu pas libur aja baru dia kasih tahu ke saya waktu pas saya ke Bandung. Tapi kasih taunya juga cuman gitu doang. Nah, ada bapak kamu kesini. Oh gitu. Ya udah aku cuma gitu doang.
Kabar dari orang tua kapan terakhir?
Belum pernah ada kabar dari orang tua. Orang tua juga nggak tahu.
Belum, maksudnya sejak kesini belum ada kabar? Sudah pernah kirim surat kamu? Kenapa?
Enggak kirim surat.
Mengapa nggak kirim surat?
Kurang tahu. Kurang tahu.
Kamu nggak mau kirim surat ke sana? Kenapa?
Kan saya kan belum tahu itunya di mana, tinggalnya
Alamatnya.
di mana itunya. Belum tahu.
Tapi maksudnya kalau sudah ada kabar orang tua mau pulang?
harus dengan fotonya. Biar kita tahu orang tuanya masih hidup, oh gini. Jadi kita.
When the children heard I wanted to try and find their families in East Timor, they started writing letters to their loved ones. Johnny's sister, Nur, was only brought here recently. Until then, she'd had no contact with her little brother.
Pas dia lihat kata saya, mana si Johnny teh, kata aku tuh. Pas dia udah berdiri di depan saya, itu si Johnny katanya. Oh ini si Johnny. Pas udah gitu dia langsung masuk ke kamar. Saya ikut masuk ke kamar, saya tanya sama dia, Johnny gimana tinggal di sini gitu. Tinggal di sini juga senang. Kalau kita nggak naik kelas suka dipukulin, kalau nggak belajar harus dipukulin. Senang. Ya iya tuh kata aku tuh. Kata gitu, saya tanya lagi, Johnny kamu masih ingat mama? Senang. Iya ingat mukanya gimana gitu, mama namanya gimana gitu. Dia bilang saya masih ingat. Terus sama adiknya masih ingat. Terus langsung aja dia nangis gitu di kamar tuh. Ya udah. Aku kali itu kata teteh itu datang, kalian lagi ngapain? Oh enggak, cuma cerita-cerita doang kata aku. Cuma si Johnny langsung nangis gitu.
I found Jakaria's family easily. They're still living in the same house, just outside Dili.
Oh ya, sudah dijelaskan, saya David.
This was the first time they'd heard any news of their son since he was taken away. And a lot has changed. He's lost 2 sisters while he's been in Java.
Ini tahu Antonia. Misal Antonia ni mati.
Poin mati tina rua ihnena. Mati bulan Juni tanggal 15.
The whole village is sharing their grief.
Antonia kasia. Ne iria o kere kwal surat tidak ba? Dia ambil Ania mate, Maria. Lebel. Kalau karena ini kan dia sendiri kan jauh sekali. Kita keluarga kan semua di sini. Dia kan sendiri di sana. Kita kan sedih itu.
But the most surprising news for his parents is that their son has become a Muslim.
Ne am hak fora tamban sai hisnene nia hansambe si katolik. Agora ba tamba saidan ya mesak ne ting fiar emanian. Ema kuliah halusan ne ting tuir ona sirnian tamban ini ba ne mesak ne tuir rit emanian. Ini am triste runi tamban ne husne bane ne si katolik helak.
4 hours away in Venilale, the man who transformed Jakaria is well known. Hassan Basri spent time here converting local people to Islam. This is where he met Johnny and Nur, and where I found their cousins. They can remember Hassan Basri's sales pitch. Now all they want is for Johnny and Nur to be prized away from Hassan Basri.
Karakter firafal mai harai timor para amur hamutufal hanesan uluk. Tambah uluknya amur samutuknya senan terus dia umane. Rame terus halimar mus rame agora amna intulit nungkat halimar ho emaida. Eduni hanoin lisira tamasira dokusi
The family has approached the United Nations High Commission for Refugees in Dili for assistance.
I think it was Bandung.
But Jake Morland says the UNHCR is not able to offer much help.
We agree that it's moved painfully slowly. So far, only a few over 1,000 have returned so far, most of those from the camps in West Timor. Our priority cases are in Java in the orphanages, And you're right, it's moving very slowly.
The UNHCR in Jakarta is the agency responsible for tracking down and returning the stolen children.
We have already repatriated around now 13, more than 13 children.
But how many remain here in Java?
Quite a
Over
number.
1,500, no?
That was that was last time, almost how many months ago? 2 months ago that we counted it 1,501.
So now it's 1,501
It's less
minus
than-
13.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
not much of a success
No,
rate,
of course
really.
not. But we showed to international community that we did it, you know.
Jake Morland says only the Indonesian government has the power to take on the kidnappers.
The Director for Human Rights within the Indonesian Ministry for Foreign Affairs, Dr. Puja, has said that Indonesia will repatriate these children to East Timor.
We are not really in a hurry.
Dr. Puja says the government is reluctant to push too hard.
We cannot just force all the children, thousands of them, same place, and then we force them to be returned. I don't think UNHCR will do this, so because they are also working on certain procedure.
Back in West Java, Hassan Basri has organised a party to celebrate Indonesia's Independence Day. It's an opportunity to remind the children how lucky they are to be here. Basri knows that the government will be reluctant to challenge him so long as he shows his patriotism. Basri is exploiting public sympathy for those who fought for East Timor's integration with Indonesia. He's even making the children's release conditional on the government giving military and militia leaders immunity from prosecution.
Dan tutup persoalan HAM, termasuk Enrique Guterres, termasuk para kolonel, termasuk Abilio, tutup.
Maksudnya tutup apa?
Ya artinya tidak usah ada satu tuntutan. Kalau itu tidak dilakukan, menurut saya itu nggak bakalan masyarakat Timor Timur itu yang ada di Indonesia pulang.
There is this view that persists, which is that really the East Timorese didn't know what they were doing when they were opted for independence, and essentially they would be better off if they had stayed with Indonesia. And I think the interests of people like these kidnappers are served by those views amongst the public in Indonesia.
How long should we be waiting for this problem to be resolved?
I don't know.
2 years, 5 years, 10 years?
No. We'll do it maybe this year.
You think so?
Think so. Why not?
Well, because Hassan Basri won't be cooperating to that timetable?
We don't know yet.
Well,
We don't know yet. But we will try anyway. Don't be so pessimistic. I'm not pessimistic.
Okay.
We are optimists that some, these children will return.
Aku juga nggak tahu tuh pikiran Pak Hasan gimana gitu orang kalau mau pengen pulang. Soalnya sih katanya kalau pengen pulang tuh harus ada kabar dari orang tua dulu. Harus ngirim surat dulu ke sini atau mau datang ke sini baru boleh ambil gitu katanya. Kalau enggak nanti aja lah usaha kesana pasang nanti kita kembali ke tim-tim bareng gitu.
Jadi alasan apapun, tanda tangan apapun, fotokopi fotonya orang tua apapun yang dibawa sini saya tidak kasih.
Kalau misalnya orang UNHCR ke sini,
saya tidak kasih. Mau UNHCR minta bantuan lagi ke polisi bersama-sama saya tidak kasih.